Hollywood Houselift?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about episodes 1 and 4, and Kelly is going to talk about 2 and 3. So the whole thing...
I'll keep my for the comments and questions while you're going.
Okay. So episode 1 is called Dreams and Dollar Signs. I kind of love that. It starts off with our beloved Shane. How much do we love Shane? Oh my God, he's so stinking cute. Starts off with Shane looking at computer pictures of Jeff's recent headshots. And I think, do you remember that, Kelly, on the radio when he was trying to not drink alcohol for 3 days before so he could do this?
Yeah, the original shots that he took came out really bad. He said his puffy and his hair was long. So yes, I do remember that. And they could only find something.
Yeah. So I love that they kind of started out similar like they used to on Flipping Out, where they start off at his, I don't know, I guess you'd call it his home office, where they just all kind of hang out and stuff. Thanks for joining. Welcome, everyone. And then we got to meet Aurora. So did you know before this show started that Joyla's sister, Aurora, was working for him? You knew that. How'd you know?
Because Flipping Out, I forget, it's the last few seasons. She actually worked for Jeff's grandma. So, and
was she ever on camera?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay, that does sound familiar. Thanks for reminding me.
She must have been at some point because I know what she looks like. So.
Okay, so she's younger, or she looks younger than Zoila, don't you think?
I think there's probably if there's 5 kids, maybe Zoila's the oldest and she's the youngest. I think there is.
Yeah, she's like Zoila 2.0. She's going to take over, when Zoila's tired or whatever. But I loved how they introduced Zoila. So it finally came true. His dream that he had talked to long before he engaged ever had Monroe. He had always said that Zoila would be his nanny. So she got promoted to weekend nanny, which is just perfect because, she's what, mid-70s?
Probably. And
she's a queen. She doesn't need to be working 6 days a week like she used to. Hell to the no. She's got, kids of her own and stuff. So, love that. So then it starts off with Fortune's project first. What did you think of Fortune? I really like her and her wife, Jax.
I love Fortune. I had kind of heard of her a little bit before listening to Jeff Lewis live, but the time she's been on, she's just a crack up. And you know what I really appreciate about her? She's not dirty or anything like that. It's like family comedy where I think where she's not cussing and talking dirty talk. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just not with your kids.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for that. I definitely like a raunchy comedian, and I also like family-type comedians. I forget the guy's name. The guy that has 5 kids out of New York.
Oh, follow him.
Brian and I saw him live. He's really funny. But I really liked them. I love that he talked about the deferred maintenance. What do you think about that? It was kind of rude, but I mean, hello, Jeff. Not all of us have all of these staff around our house. I think all of us have a little bit of deferred maintenance, right? Especially during COVID.
Yeah, I just think, he just likes things perfect. And I think sometimes he doesn't realize that we're not all like him.
Yeah. But I love how he just says things and just assumes your grass shouldn't be dead. Yeah, you should have a gardener. They'll call it a gardener in California?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We call it a yard guy. My yard guys are coming on Friday. That's what we call it. I also noticed that when he was talking to Carrie on the phone, he said, I love you at the end. I don't remember him ever doing that on Flipping Out. I loved that.
He's a much softer version of himself in this.
Yeah. So some people online, because of course they're going to complain online. Hi, Kim. Glad y'all can join tonight. We know it's a lot going on, but, glad y'all can join us and chat. So if you want to chat with us, just hit the plus button or ask a question. We'll answer it for you. And he also said, I love you to his dad on the phone. His dad said, I love you back. So I love that. Maybe they had edited that out in Flipping Out. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he always said it. Maybe as he's gotten older. I think he's totally different now as a dad. And you can see that on Hollywood Houselift too. Because even when he's talking, when he's talking to Wilmer and Amanda, the other project they're doing, they've got a 7-month-old baby at the time that they filmed. And he says something about, having more practical furniture, not buying stuff that's super expensive, that the kids are going to get crayons all over and markers and stuff. So he's got like a whole new appreciation. Whereas on Flipping Out, most of the seasons he didn't have Monroe. And plus she was never of the age to mess things up with crayons. We know as moms what kids can wreak havoc on our stuff. It's a completely different house once you have a kid, so I think as a designer, he's changed in that way too.
Yeah, so I say Mulaney 2019, completely agree, much calmer, softer person.
Yeah.
And that you've heard some chirp about people online saying the show's boring. I don't agree it's boring. I'll give you my whole thoughts when I go, but I think this is it's great, and it's nice to see him in a point in his life where he is not flipping out. He's getting older. I don't want him to have a stroke. Right?
Oh my God. And he loves when people comment on his age, so he would love that fans are talking about him having a stroke. Exactly. But you're right. I mean, we've got medical issues to worry about, high blood pressure. I mean, things that could affect our Jeff. So we don't want that to happen. That's true.
Love that he expresses his positive feelings as well. Yes. He shared.
Oh, that's right.
Those things.
And there was something where he could have flipped out. I forget which episode it was. But he didn't. He was like, "This is no big." When the electrician is like zzz, 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 with the fire, and he's like, "This is not a big deal. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't have fireworks and whatever." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you are a totally new Jeff." Like, I love it. In this, we assume he was filming when he was still with Scott. Don't you think this is like September, October-ish when it first starts?
What are we at?
He says Monroe is almost 5 and her birthday's in October. So I think it's like September-ish when they started filming. So someone already said on the comments that we wish we could see Monroe, and we all wish that we could see Monroe because she is so spunky and just like a mini Jeff. I mean, Gage has to be like dying every time I wonder if she's the same way with Gage as she is with Jeff, like super spunky and sarcastic.
No.
You think she changes her personality to each dad and their environment?
Gage is just more of kind of a quiet, guy that does have a lot of expression. And so I don't think they have that relationship. And I think, like Jeff said, disciplinarian. And so some of the he would say, he would be like, that's disrespect. He'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
He's bad cop. Jeff's good cop. He's bad cop.
Yeah, for sure. So we talked about how Jeff has become just a different designer since becoming a dad. I mean, I think he sees things as safe, like what kind of environment, where is a kid going to play? I need an open kitchen to the living room because we know we want to watch the kids playing. I mean, all of that just really changes him in how he's going to view all of that. Yeah. I love seeing Tyler come back. So Tyler was his super quiet, super, I don't want to say conservative. I just think his glasses make him look conservative, but.
I remember if he had them on Flipping Out.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Love the glasses on him though. Oh my God, he's so sexy in them. And I kind of like that he's Tyler.
Oh,
the designer that comes on episode 1 to help with Wilmer's house.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So Amanda, I don't know if I like her or not. She seemed a little bit boring. Wilmer's fiance. What do you think?
I think she's probably anybody that dates an actor. I think they're going to have to always take a back seat to whoever the partner is.
That's true. I don't know anything about her. Do you know, is she an actress? I don't know anything about her.
Neither do I. I've never seen her. She doesn't look familiar to me.
I did notice, and she noticed when he was introducing, he was like, and this is my house. And she was like, this is our house. And he's like, oh yeah, let me go back and do that. This is our house. And I'm like, oh yeah. When you're
engaged, they just have a child. They are engaged?
Yeah, they call it her fiance. Yeah.
And they have a child together.
Yeah. And does anyone know an update? Are they married already yet? Put in comments if you know if they're already married. I don't really know with COVID. Who knows? But I love that.
One that was with Demi.
Who?
Wilmer.
Demi Lovato.
in Lovato for like 4 years. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. That vaguely sounds familiar, but I don't think I knew that, or I didn't remember that. Wow. So Amanda, on Jeff Lewis Live the other day, they were talking about being woke and saying the most current appropriate terms that aren't offensive. And Amanda used the term master closet. And I'm like, okay, we've known since the fall of 2021 that we don't say master closet, master bathroom, master bedroom. We say primary.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't say anything about it, But Jeff said family room. And we've since learned on the radio the other day that family room is offensive, right?
Fancy. What was the daily activity room?
Yeah, so Chef Stu said that in Ireland they call it the daily room. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know about you, but is your living room the daily room?
No, mine is more my bed.
Well, because your daughter's grown.
Yeah. But
yeah.
It used to be.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we have a question. Let's see what this is. Stacy says, I think she's overwhelmed by Wilmer. He's a lot. Oh, my God. You're so right, Stacy. He is a lot. He has a lot of experiences.
Experience.
The front door is an experience. The entry to the living room is an experience. He's interesting.
When I first saw the area that Jeff was going to redo, I was like, too dark and way too close. Like, he had everything connected to an experience. And I was like, this place is just like too small to have all that stuff.
Yeah. He's really hands-on with his home design, which is kind of interesting. My husband really takes a back seat. My designer, April, takes over. I pretty much approve what she says, and then I kind of send it to him. He doesn't really, the only thing he's ever wanted to have a say in is, he does approve things. Don't get me wrong. But we just trust my lady, April. But the master bedroom, he's never wanted like overly girly. He's never allowed me. Huh? Oh my God, my primary bedroom. See, I'm not woke. See, thank you. The primary bedroom, but he's never wanted like floral bedding, things like that. You know what I mean? He's kind of put his foot down with that. So
yeah, someone said, can't wait to see what he does with Melissa's bathroom. It's already is very nice. I thought the same thing too.
It's gorgeous. The only thing, and I did the same thing with our primary bathroom in 2019 when we gutted it. We had that little dip thing with the little vanity. And our house was built in 2003. It's just kind of that time frame, what have you. Thanks for joining, everyone. So I made all of ours flat too, with the double vanity. So I totally get that. But oh my God, it's beautiful. The silver. Everything's updated. It's very traditional. It's very my style. I love Melissa's house a lot. Oh. That's probably the house that I relate to the
can't
most.
See what it's going to look like.
Yeah. How much do you think she's going to end up spending? That's a lot of money.
They were up to 137. Oh, do we want to talk about that yet?
Oh yeah, that is another episode. Okay, you want to go to episode 2?
Sure.
If anyone has a question, or if anyone wants to pop in, just hit the plus button or hit the question button.
So episode 2, I did not get the name, sorry, but
that's okay. I don't remember what it was either.
I liked the theme song. I liked that it wasn't super long. It was short. One of my favorite openings in all TV was always Jeff's flipping out. I love that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then it was funny. They were driving, and Shane is like his personal calendar, and he's like, at 5:00 you have a haircut, and Jeff's like, oh shit, man, I'm not gonna have enough time. And and Shane goes, well, I don't want your hair to be like fluffy and it look like Fortune. So that I loved. So they started off at Fortune's project, and
she's cat.
People will not shut the F up. I'm going to have to lock you up, sir. Tell me, is it too loud?
No.
Okay. So anyways, he's at Fortune's house, and she's like, just, she's a totally easygoing client with Jax. Just tell us what to do and we'll do it. And he's walking around and he's like, that's got to go. And she goes, oh, I hope you're not going to take my lemon tree. And he goes, where? And they're all like, that bush? And she goes, yeah, it took 8 years to make one lemon. And I was like, so one of the things with Fortune was that she thought she was going to get $1.4 million for her house.
Yeah.
Comps in the area. And Carrie Lewis is really good at what she does. And she said, no. So We also got to see Frank.
Ooh, hot Frank.
Now, I do not want to be disrespectful to his wife, but he is a hottie. I always thought he was a hottie.
I think he looks younger now than from a couple of years ago.
He does.
He looks thinner. He looks a hair thinner, and thin always makes you look young. Yeah. I feel like all the time I've gained so much weight, and I'm like, oh my God, I fucking look older. You know what I mean? Yeah, when you're thin, you look young.
No, but it like fills out your face. Like if I was to lose the chubbiness in my face right now, it would be wrinkly. So then we get to meet Moises, who is like the gardener, landscaper, artist. And I don't know if you remember us flipping out a guy named Jesse that he used to work with. He was an older, shorter little Mexican guy. And
that flirted with Jenny?
Yes.
Oh my God, had that crappy ass truck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that truck was just, oh my God,
I asked at the brunch, I said, does anybody know what happened to Jesse? And I can't remember. I think Shane said, I gotta hold this motherfucker. This thing is just not working. Sorry. And so they wanted to do a lot of work on the outside because what did you say? He said that it was like what did he say about Fortune's outside their house?
Deferred maintenance?
Yes.
It looked like shit on the outside, basically?
Yes. So they're going to buy all these hedges. And they ended up buying 120 hedges. And Jeff's like, well, how much are they each? And whoever Moises said 180. And I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. And then they said, well, where's it coming from? The somewhere fancy Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive. And the guy goes, no, Riverside. And I was like, oh my God, that's where I'm from, Riverside.
Right. You teaching them, yeah.
So Jeff said, so what, like $20,000? And the guy came back with a $38,000 bid. And Jeff's like, no, sorry, they didn't hire him.
Yeah. I love that Jeff, I mean, as much as everyone teases that, he doesn't have a budget and always goes over budget, he is conscious of what things should cost. He's conscious of
his experience.
He's conscious of what he paid last week at a job or 3 months ago at a job. He always wants. He always wants to help people and he wants to save them. And I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons. That you should hire him. That he would do that. Yeah. So let's go on to Lamorne's house. He is a producer, actor, and director and writer. So his home is 5,840 feet. Wow.
My house is 1,100 feet. So I could have
1,100? I've had an apartment that big before. But
my mortgage is
bigger.
And my mortgage is over 3,000. So let that.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Yeah. So, I can't afford California.
No, either can I. 5 bedroom, 8 baths. And so then he said about Jeff, he was like, that Lamorne was talking about, and he goes, well, I know he's really sharp and he's really snappy. And so we get to meet Momo. Momo is his design. Her name is Morgan, but she had a necklace named Momo. And immediately I was like, how is Jeff going to work with her?
Because how did 2 designers, he's a friend of hers, for one thing. They made it very clear that she's a friend. And then that she's his personal designer. So why do you have Jeff? So Jeff was like, well, where do I fit in here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe it was like for a TV thing. But he wants to redo a side. And this second episode, you don't see them really start to like hit a wall yet. But one of the weird things is when they were looking at the pool house, I thought the wallpaper in there was stunning. It was super bright and colorful. And then Lamorne said, well, don't go up too close because it's a bunch of vaginas. Did you see the wallpaper?
Yeah.
I didn't.
And I love that Jeff said he was looking for bigger vaginas. We have a question, Kelly, let's see what it says. Oh, Stacy says, quote, designer. Oh, so Stacy, does that mean you don't think that Momo is a designer? Is she something else to him? I don't know.
I was like, maybe he spends a lot of time away, and I think she is his sitter of a house maybe and designs it, and maybe they have something on the side. I don't know.
Oh.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe. Okay.
Anyway, so I nicknamed her Chunky Sweater because she loves a chunky sweater to wear. And
see, again, it was the fall, and so they talked even later. He and Melissa Rivers talk about the cool weather. Yeah.
And then the last part about episode 2 was Jeff started to talk about his house. He wanted to prepare it for photos. He wanted to move and find something different. And it was really cool to see how they went in there and just took these gorgeous photos and the drone photos of the house outside.
Yeah.
This is a lot of money. Someone said the stools that Jeff picked out were way nicer. I agree. Her stools were garbage.
Yeah. And you know what? I always want to compare price. So my interior designer knows me really well. She knows my style. She just gets me. I've had her for so long, but she also knows I love a bargain. So she can show me something that's super expensive, but if I find it on Wayfair or Shades of Light, much cheaper, she knows I'm going to order it from those places. So I am not about spending more on something that a light fixture, nobody's going to go, oh, that's a $2,700 light fixture. If I find it for $8.99, that's the one she's getting for me.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think basically that was episode 2. So should I jump into episode 3 or do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, no, go to right. So normally, right, on Sundays, we'll just have one episode to talk about. But this time we had 4. And it does seem like it's going to keep launching on Thursday, which is kind of good because Thursday works better for my schedule to watch Hollywood Houselift. So it's just Friday just gets kind of crazy and there's always stuff going on. So I'm kind of glad that they keep dropping Thursday, but I think it's very confusing to keep saying Friday night and it keeps dropping on Thursday. What's up with that?
Someone said, I would love to see next season focus on Jeff renovating his new house. Me too. I loved when he did Valley Vista and we got to, and even the to see all the amazing things and his ideas and talent.
Yeah, because when you're picking out for yourself, first of all, the budget means way more to you in the time frame, but also you get to see his real personal style. He's not moved by anyone else. And maybe it would be him and Stu's personal style. Maybe we'll see. They did look at a house the other night. He kind of slipped that, or day, whenever it was, but he kind of slipped that in on the radio, right? That Stu was with him to look at that house.
What was the one house he's bought it over and over again? It's Gramercy. Was it Gramercy?
Yeah.
I love that house.
The one that's kind of, what do they call it? A Tudor style?
Mm-hmm. And has
it's not really a style we would think of for Jeff, but yeah, he loved that one and put a lot more money into that one. Yeah.
All right. So episode 3, him and Shane are in the car just talking. Love that when they can just banter off each other. And he said that Monroe asked him to switch rooms.
Oh, that was so funny.
And Shane's like, yeah, she sees you as his equal. And I think that's absolutely true.
And I love how Jeff calls him his son and introduces people to his son because he likes the feedback of them saying, oh my God, you're so young. What are you doing to look so young to have a 25-year-old son? He's like, yeah, you know.
I also found out that Jeff at that time was asking $5.5 million for his house, and he did get 6 offers from the Altman brothers.
Wow.
At that time, they didn't meet that, but he did eventually sell it. I don't know what he sold it for, but he did.
I know. Somebody put in the Facebook groups, 5.1 sounds familiar. Can anyone confirm what Jeff got for that house recently? I love also seeing the progression of how much his own personal homes end up costing him. Like you can see his wealth just build and build. Yeah. And that's what you should do in life, right? That you want to see that as you progress in life. So I love that.
And at one point he said something about that, but I can't remember what part it was. Anyway. All right. So we get to meet Mr. Anthony Anderson, who's a producer. I don't know if you ever got to watch Blacklist, but it was awesome.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Blackish. And his house is 7,850 square feet. 7 baths. Just an amazing piece of property.
Yeah.
And I guess Anthony has been frustrated because it's been under construction for over 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So I believe he just wants Jeff at this point in the show to do the landscaping and hardscaping. And I was like, what's hardscaping? And I guess that's like all the concrete and the stones and things like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And so Jeff immediately just looks at the house and he's like, those trees have to go. And so Anthony was like, oh, I don't know about that. But eventually he gets him to take all those trees out.
And they were big, mature trees. I mean, they look like crap trees. Why would you if you've got a house like that, why would you put shit trees in the front?
Not only that, think about what they're dropping. If they're like super messy, why? They weren't pretty trees. And I know
I think they said they were pines and that there was sap dropping everywhere.
Needles. And Jeff said lines of like, what did he say? Shit. See, things go out of my head real quick.
It's our age. Just like Jeff, it's our age.
When they were removing the trees, that looked very dangerous.
Oh, the roots?
Just when they were chopping it down and pulling it down, there was like all these guys running around. I was like, ah.
That's why it's expensive, though. It's very expensive to pull out trees. Let's see what question we have. Stacy says, I wonder why he never pursued Beverly D'Angelo's house. She kept bugging him to go look at it last year when she was a guest on the show. Oh, Stacy, I don't remember that. Do you remember that? Tell me.
She was talking. They had talked previously about him doing something to her house, and then the pandemic hit. I think probably he had said something, and I don't know if this is true or not, but he was trying to, or the TV, Amazon or Freeview was trying to get him to focus on people. Oh, hi.
Hi, Luna's getting in the pool. Hi, Looney.
Just white cisgender people. Do you remember that? He said that.
Do what now?
Is she single? Who's single? Me?
Beverly D'Angelo? I don't know. Who do you mean?
I forgot what I was saying.
Comment who she means. Okay, you want to tell us more about episode 3? They want couples. Oh, that's true. They want couples because Jeff has said that's more interesting because they can kind of bicker back and forth or make decisions together. So he said couples. They want couples, no matter if it's same gender or what have you. They want couples on the show. He has said that. Yeah. That makes sense.
So they finish up Fortune and Jax, and it looks, especially from where he brought it. I did have a couple little tweaks, though. I love the dark navy on the house. I love the crisp white paint. I didn't really feel the black shutters, but I know they had matched the outside gate. But they originally were looking at like a yellow for the door, and I was like, oh, my God, that's gorgeous. It just popped. It looked amazing with everything. And then they painted it another blue, and I was like, no, it should have been like yellow or a pale.
I thought so too.
Too much blue.
I thought so too. And I know this whole monochrome. My best friend was telling me yesterday, we were out shopping and she was like, you can put any shade of color with pink together. And I'm like, okay. She's like, it's called monochrome. So I guess that's what it is, to put in different shades. But I would rather a pop too, I think. Mm-hmm. Especially on that house. It's a very small house. I don't know if they ever said the exact square footage, but it's a small house. I think the front door could have popped also. I agree with that.
A little closed in. And then the other thing, I was like, what is happening? They went to the faucets, right, to get the water features. And one of the fountains, there was one that kind of was like a round thing that bubbled up and it had a basin. But it had like these little red parts on it. And I was like, what is that? And then I looked at the other water feature and it was like a wall with 5 streams coming up. It was just like 5 guys peeing.
And like at the Abbey is what Shane said.
Yeah. That weird red plastic. And I was like, what is that? Did you see that? Did that bother you?
I didn't love any of them. I understand the noise of it. I was at my friend's house this weekend in San Antonio. She has a beautiful koi pond in the backyard. And we sat out there this morning and sipped coffee. I love the feature of it. I've got water crap on my pool it's so old now. My pool's 15 years old almost, that it doesn't even work anymore. But I understand the water feature and having it be like relaxing like that. I didn't love the look of theirs, but you know, it didn't look like there was a lot to choose from at that store that I was going to love either.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Let's see. And then we go to Wilmer's project again. And I thought it was fun to make it so that putting shelves up. And Jeff, like, oh, no, let us take them down. We'll use as much stuff as we can of yours to accessorize. And if you still feel like you want those shelves, we'll put them back up. And then it cuts to Jeff, and he's like, we're not putting the shelves back up.
He's like, everybody knows those shelves aren't going back up. They were up like crazy. I think they were like super glued and nailed and I mean, they were seriously up there. Like he had some good contractor putting them shelves up.
I wrote those shelves because there was to take off. And then the other thing I really noticed with Jeff that I like is he understands how people are and and how they work. And I always feel like we do too, because we're teachers. But he's like, all right, so I'm going to show Wilmer, who's more hands-on, these fabrics for pillows, blah, 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 blah. But I don't want to show him 100 choices because he's going to have time. So I edit it down to like 20 or 25 things that I know that will work. And then he feels like he is a part of it and he's a part of the decision making. I thought that was really cool. And then the other thing that I was going to say, and then I'll wrap it up, was that, you know, I don't know if, did you listen when Andy was on Jeff's radio show?
Yeah. Love
and
that.
Something like, oh shit, I forgot it again. Give me a second. What did Jeff say?
Was Andy talking about Hollywood Houselift?
Jeff said, now, is it true, Andy, that you were in a meeting with the big execs at Bravo and you guys all took a vote not to bring my show back? Remember he said that?
Yeah, flipping out. And he agreed.
Yeah, but that's not quite how it went. But he really brought some insight to how I've always been a fan of Jeff. He goes, you know, people love to see you in relationships. They love to see you with Zoila. They love to see you with Jenny. So at that Jenny was done and Zoila was retiring, there was no reason for that flipping out to go on. And after I watched the episodes, I sent Jeff a DM and I really like the show. I don't think it's boring. And I think this is a lot of people's draw. Everybody wants to be Jeff's best friend, right? They all want to be a chump. They all want to be. My favorite thing with Jeff is not him flipping out and all that stuff. It's him teasing people in the banter back. So that's still there, and we get to still see him, especially with Anthony. I think that we'll get to see a lot more of kind of that behavior of them just going back.
And I think as the episodes go on, you can see Shane. Like I noticed even within the second or third scene with Shane of episode 1, I could just see him relax. Yeah, I think anytime you're filming and you've got cameras right in your face, that's a lot. So I just saw him relax and have more fun and be more natural. So then their banter, their teasing. I love it. I love that they're obsessed with food. I love seeing what they have for lunch. So we'll talk about episode 4.
Yes.
That's the best laugh. Love when he giggles, Dino says. What is your real name? Type what your real name is so I can say it because I only know your Instagram handle.
My sister laughs just like Jeff, so it's so funny.
Aw, I love don't we all have, I can think of like 3 people in my life right now that have distinguished, recognizable laughs, and I just love it. I love when they laugh because you just know exactly who they are, you know where they're at, everything. Dina, I knew it was Dina. I thought it was. Okay. So episode 4 was called A Facelift and a Little Lipo. So who said that?
Oh, a Fortune.
No, Melissa Rivers.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Melissa was saying that about her house. So that one opens up and it's Megan flirting about the gardeners. So I love how much Megan, who's been with Ben, I think like 8.5 years, right? Very committed, loving relationship. But I love how flirty she is. And she's like, she appreciates a sexy man. I love that. Why not? So it opens up with her flirting about, I think I need to go supervise that construction. And then Jeff says, and it's going to be hot. So their t-shirt's going to be off. She's like, oh yeah. And Shane says something like, well, how many can you handle? And she's like, a lot.
I know. Gosh.
And matter of fact, she's in Tahiti right now. She's probably
all her pictures, beautiful.
She's going to come back with a UTI. Clearly. Clearly. And then they show her assistant. I forgot her name. It's an interesting name.
Starts with a C, but it wasn't like a recognizable name.
Yeah. She reminds me physically of Vanina from Flipping Out. The face. Yeah, her face reminds me of Vanina. Yeah. I love that. So I love their obsession with lunch, just like with Flipping Out, what they're going to have for lunch, who ordered what. How much do you think he spends on lunch?
I was thinking about not only lunch, he eats out almost every day. So I was
literally, he's dating a chef, and he probably, because I think, Garen, that was her name. I think it was spelled different, but her name was like Garen or something like that. You're right, Stacey. He's dating a chef, but I think they've even admitted that Chef Stu doesn't even cook for him much because he does that for his job. So he doesn't cook for him much. I love that.
Jeff does not want him messing up his kitchen. Let's be honest.
That's true. Yeah, Jeff has that house just for looks, and yeah, I agree. So then, of course, Shane, we just get to know him more and more as his really good assistant. What do you think if Jeff and Shane ever have their first argument on camera, just like him and Jenny would? I think my heart's going to die. I think I'm just, yeah. Like I think there's so many of us fans that are just big. I'm going to have to switch out my AirPods. That are so many fans that are big Shane fans. And I'm 49. I feel like a mother to Shane. I mean, I could have definitely birthed him. He's 25. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Whose side would you take? Like, I don't even know what we're going to do if we see their first argument.
At one point, when they were getting the house ready for the photographs, Jeff was kind of like telling people what to do. And he goes, Shane, can you stop doing that? Or do you want me to do that? Because all you're doing over there is pushing buttons. And even at that point, I was like,
I know. We don't even want to see it or hear it, do we? I know. I agree. Okay, so then it gets more into the Anthony project, and they remove 7 trees. So we kind of already talked about that a little bit. They introduce Melissa Rivers in episode 4. Jeff admits that she has an $8 million home, but she's got a tight budget. Didn't it start off at like $150?
No, I think it was less than that. And we're at 137. So you're going to have to start. I don't think she wanted 150 at all. It wasn't until she realized how much the cabinetry would cost in the closet that she was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think. Well, and we all agree, I think, that kitchen is beautiful. The bathroom is beautiful, but it wasn't exactly what she needs for her glam squad since she does get ready at the bathroom. But the closet I felt was horrible. Very dark, very manly, kind of dated, no lights.
Yeah.
I think he said lights would be like $5,000 to $8,000. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's worth every penny. But if you've got an $8 million home, you got to step up the cash. You're Melissa Rivers. Step up the money.
Maybe I don't know. I felt like she was kind of alluding to something that she could only spend this amount right now.
Oh. Maybe even rich people have a budget, right?
Right.
Oh, Dina says, I agree. I don't like the 2 water closets. That was kind of weird. And even Jeff admitted, but some people, I think Heather Dubrow has said she has 2. She doesn't poop where Terry poops.
Don't poop where I poop.
I poop where my husband poops. We have 1 water closet.
I thought it was so fancy to call it a water closet. Like I have to call it the toilet.
Yeah, but if you look at, like, my daughter just got her first apartment, and it said WC on the layout, so even they kind of put that. Melissa Rivers notices and comments on the navy clothes that Jeff and Shane are wearing, and they comment on that a few times, and I'm like, they're still doing that. I think Jeff only owns shades of blue shirts. Now, it looks really good on him, so maybe he just knows what he's doing, and he likes what he likes.
And I'll say, he looks good. Like, I've met him like 3 times now.
Yeah.
He's a fine specimen of a man. He's got some nice arms. He's tall. He smells good. He's dressed good. And even now, I was just like...
Smells good. I've never smelled him.
Oh, snack.
Oh, he smells like a snack. I love that. No wonder Stu's all over that.
Amy 2019 said on JLL, Jeff said Amazon was paying for the remodels. I do remember that, but I can't imagine that they're going to throw down $150 for Melissa, and
that's
then Fortune. I can't imagine that was more than $75,000 for everything. And but yeah, I do remember them saying that.
So I think all of those shows, like what's that one that started off? You know that they would revamp houses. Well, that one, the one I'm thinking of with the guy, oh my God, my brain went blank. They would take people that were in some weird situation. That guy. I know. Anyways, but so I think word has gotten out that they do give them some sort of a budget. They just don't talk. That's kind of their payment for being on the show. You know, so they just haven't really talked about that. Also on there.
I wonder what Jeff cologne he wears. I don't remember like specifically what cologne. He just smells fine, clean, and rich.
Aww.
And young.
And he showers like 2 or 3 times a day. So no, apparently he and Stu are getting messy a couple times a day, according to the radio the other day. That was a little TMI this week. That was kind of weird because I just don't see Jeff as normally giving that much personal information. No. He really got personal this week. I was so there for it. Were you there for it?
Yeah, absolutely. He can be impulsive when he's happy and
oh, that's so true.
Verbal diarrhea.
Yeah, impulsive when he's happy. That's a really good point, Kelly. That's a really good point of saying that about him. Yeah. Okay, so Melissa used the word primary when it came to the word closet and bathroom. So Melissa Rivers she's not very woke, but I mean, what else would you expect? It's Melissa Rivers. I loved her mom, Joan Rivers. Oh my God. God rest her soul. Yeah. But what was with Anthony's house when the PVC, somebody broke the PVC pipes, like 2 of them, and Jeff gets a bill for $5,200? That's ridiculous.
No, they were cutting the roots. And that's the other thing that you talked about Jeff having a lot of experience and being able to be like, I wonder, okay, so that's just 2 plastic PVC pipes. Do you see how maybe that might not add up to $5,800? And then he's like, no, you're just not gonna.
Yeah. He's like, who's in charge? And he was so calm about it. Like, hi, I'm Jeff Lewis. I just need to know who to talk to about who made this decision. And why did no one call me when there was a mistake? I mean, I've had so much construction done over the years, and there's mistakes happen. But they have to call you instantly and tell you, hey, this is what we did. The guys are going to come out Tuesday and fix it. You know what I mean?
And I was going to say, Anthony was in the background, just observing. And I think that's yes, when you pay for Jeff, not only do you get talent, but you also get somebody that's going to advocate for you and has a lot of experience and knowledge that can help you.
Absolutely. And I think he sees that, and that's why he gets these famous clients, because for one thing, like he says, he signs a non-disclosure, so he's not going to talk about it. But he also fights for them, because no matter how rich you are, you know why rich people are rich? Because they're usually good with money. They're not throwing it around everywhere and being, reckless with it. So I think Jeff knows that, and he's being responsible with their budget and their money also. So I agree with that. So in episode 4, we see hot Frank again. So we already talked about how he's just as hot. Somebody did verify he's still married. Oh, well.
They've been married time, though. So I'm sure they're probably like high school sweethearts. And
yay. I'm so happy for them.
You made me choke.
I'm thrilled.
Contractor on Flipping Out, and he was only on for a couple seasons. His name was Chris. He was a little white guy, and he had really green eyes, and he had sleeve tattoos on his arm, and he always wore a white shirt. He was hot. I don't know what happened to him, though.
You know what? That's the thing about Flipping Out. Don't you agree? People would be introduced. They would just appear. Megan just appeared. She was in the background one time at a lunch, and they never said anything about her. On Flipping Out.
Yes, but was that when Trey got slapped by that crazy client?
It was around that time period, yeah. But she's just there, and they never said anything. And then when she came on, they never really said much about her either. But also, when people would leave, sometimes they said that person got fired, and you saw that. Sometimes maybe it happened when they weren't filming right. Don't you think Andrew Coleman, who we were so lucky to have met Friday night and hung out with on Saturday?
Kind, generous, funny.
Sexy. God, that ass. Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah. I'll take my AirPods off. I think they're done. Let me see if I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you.
Ladies, thank you for this. Hold on, I'm going to read. Ladies, thank you for this. You're making it easier for me to get through washing my dinner.
Dinner dishes. I went out to dinner, so I don't even have to wash dishes. But I agree. We've all loaded the dishwasher and washed dishes. And thank you. Thank you all for joining us. We just think it's so fun. And so if y'all don't know, I met Kelly at the November Burbank show because Cheryl from Van Nuys kind of arranged some fans to get together since I was flying out by myself from Texas. And just stayed friends ever since. But it is so fun to have Jeff Lewis Live friends. And I just had the idea, I want to talk to other people. Facebook is great. Instagram, you just get the mean trolls, I feel like, that comment. Some people are nice, but
Facebook is great. We've got some amazing Facebook fan groups. If you're not on them, join them. Ask me. I'll tell you what they are. There's 3 of them. Somebody said there's 6, but there's 3 main ones. They're kind of nice, nicer, and nicest, wouldn't you say?
I say it's the mean one, the nice one, and the quote-unquote crazy one. Love you, Susan.
I love it, Kelly. I love it. Anyways, but I just think Instagram or something with visual is just so much more fun to just talk to people about the shows, because it just really, I could talk all day about this stuff. And I love that you get me, you understand the jokes, you understand the obsession. I don't have to tell you the backstory on who Megan is or why he doesn't talk to Jenny, why he doesn't talk to Krista. Yes. Everyone knows, and we're all equally obsessed, and just, he's got the best fans.
And like we said before, it's so funny that Jeff, I believe he is really popular, and especially the radio show, but I didn't have anyone in my circle that I could talk to about it. And I'd always be like, isn't it funny when, oh, you don't watch. Do you remember when, oh, you don't listen. So to be able to find people that really are fans. And every time I've ever gone to an event, I think I've gone to 4.
Yeah.
I've always made an effort to meet other fans, just because it's like, I don't have, they're not my groups.
Yeah. And really, when you meet another Jeff Lewis fan, it is literally like your little
connected.
It's like your person. Yes. It's like your person. I have real life friends that know Jeff Lewis, and they love flipping out, but they don't know the radio station. Well, that's totally different, because that's what he's been doing for the past 4 years. That's his chumps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who his chumps are. They weren't really on flipping out. That was really his business. And Jeff Lewis Live is really his personal life. So This new show, I feel like we get the best of both worlds. Now we're seeing what he and Shane would go off and do after Jeff Lewis Live.
Yes.
So I kind of like that. You're like, dang, he's busy. He's got shit to do.
He sure does.
Like, you think he's sitting around eating bonbons or something, but he's really working. Real quick, we'll finish episode 4. I hated Melissa's closet. I think it looks like a dude closet. I can't wait to see what her closet looks like. Great. I redid my closet in 2019, and it is my most favorite. Yeah, it's probably my most favorite, my primary bathroom too, but I love my closet. I've got a tiny little island. I've got mirrors. I love it. I've hidden everything. It's really so pretty. They go back and they are updating. I love how he just shows up at Fortune and Jax's house.
Yes.
And he's talked about that on the radio station lately, how he just pops in and pulls up their trash can and the recycle bin for them.
Yes.
You totally see him doing that, just like he would do flipping out. Him and Jenny. Yeah.
Yes. I think, and when Monroe becomes an adult, he's going to drive by her house and bring in her trash cans too.
Oh my God. I think he totally will do that. I think we totally, Kim, I feel like we have seen you in your closet. In my closet? Am I in the closet?
And you didn't realize it was in the closet.
Woo woo! I'm in the closet. Pride Month. Woo! My husband of 22 years is like, "What the fuck? You're in the closet?" I'm not a late in life lesbian. I know I made a post on my Instagram the other day, or yesterday about that, because my body pump instructor is just the nicest, coolest, sexiest friend named Jamie.
Female,
yeah. Okay. And she's into boys. She's into dick, just like I am. But it made me think of if I was a late in life lesbian, I think Jamie would fit the bill. Anyways, yeah. Oh, Kim says, I think I posted a picture unpacking after the November trip. Well, that is where I unpacked. So on my island. So I probably did take a picture in there. So they go to Fortune and Jack's house, and it's all about the lawn. And he's basically like, look, you're not keeping it up. I think you need a lawn guy twice a week. So we got you this gift, the Roomba. I don't know what it's called.
And
is that a thing in California? This Roomba lawn cutter thing?
No, I think that's totally dangerous. How can you even have that?
Why is it dangerous? Because they're tiny dog?
Well, and kids that are unsupervised, and then I just see a lot of lawsuits. It probably has some sort of disclaimer saying that you have to be there, and you just can't. Like a Roomba, you can let loose in your house,
right?
But not I was like, I was freaked out by that. I've known people that have gotten in accidents with lawnmowers. So
Oh wow. Oh yeah. Those can be dangerous. So it ends and they show a preview of episode 5. So we got to see that Andrew Coleman is going to be on. So he's a designer in real life. Also, we got to meet him and his business partner, who she was super cool. What's her name? Deanna.
Well, you called her Kelly Jo.
I did call her Kelly Jo. And I said, oh, do you go by Kelly or Kelly Jo or KJ? She goes, I go by Deanna. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got the wrong person in my brain. That was pretty bad.
No.
That was pretty bad. Well, I think that's about it. Do you have anything else to add? Does anyone have any questions? Anyone want to pop on? Somebody requested to join earlier and I didn't get to you fast enough and you went off. So maybe you had to go do something. I don't know. If you want to join in, just hit the plus button. We don't have to end at 1 hour. I try to end around at 1 hour. But you know what? Y'all can pop off whenever you can. Come back on if you can. Watch it later. I post all of these to my Instagram post. Yeah, not my story. They post to my post, whatever that is. I'm still learning Instagram. I'm old. Anyways, or if you have a question, let us know.
Then we're going to be back here again at next Sunday, correct? Talking about episode 5.
Yes. So next time we just have one episode to talk about. This time was kind of a lot with 4. I'm hoping, what are you hoping to get out of the next episodes, though? More personal information? More of that? Do you think we'll thought at all?
I feel like I just want to see him interact with people. I can't wait to watch him and Andrew tormenting other people. And just to see him reveal stuff.
Yeah.
Reveal.
Thank you, Linda's Room. I loved your pink outfit in your Father's Day post. I got that dress. It reminds me of something Sutton would wear. It kind of looks like a little girl dress because it's pink and white gingham with some ruffles. But I got it at a boutique in Athens, Georgia at my daughter's college orientation a week or 2 ago. So it's very Georgia. And, it's hot in Texas.
It's hot.
The day gets warm. So you need a little wide dress. I could eat whatever I wanted at the restaurant tonight. I had a big old salad. I had this bread. We had spinach artichoke dip. Cheesy mozzarella sticks. I mean,
yum.
Yeah, I've changed clothes since. Now I've got my Texas t-shirt on that I got at Green yesterday. But
oh, my sister's here again. Corinne, don't worry. We're logging off. We're not going to say anything nasty.
Does it embarrass you? Like the other day I noticed, sometimes I don't see who's all in the chat. But the other day, a friend of mine from like 5th grade, Danielle, got on and I was like, okay, I know her well enough that she knows I'm wacky and will say crazy stuff. But if somebody like that, I would want to get shy around people that, you know what I mean? So you feel like you would get shy about your sister?
You said, what? I'm so disappointed. No, like I said, my sister has a great sense of humor. I have 3 sisters and she told me to talk crazy and are the funny ones. So.
I love that. You're so lucky to have 3 sisters. I'm so lucky to have 4 daughters.
Yes.
Well, sometimes I'm lucky. The tampon bill is expensive, but I'm lucky to have 4 daughters.
Oh my gosh. We, growing up, like I said, 4 sisters, 1 bathroom. It was crazy.
Oh my God. I cannot even imagine that. Oh, she left. Kelly hung up or something happened. I cannot imagine having that. We have, God, how many bathrooms do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bathrooms? I don't know. But get back on, Kelly. Go live. Yeah, there we go. I'm in the same. That's why I'm so scared to ever join a live. Why, Dina? You're afraid you'll be embarrassed or that a real life friend will come on and see? I sort of understand that. But, I'm just so open and honest, and I'm just such a big Jeff Lewis fan that I just was so happy to talk to other fans about it. So if I say something, it's just my personality, and anyone that knows me in real life knows that I'm obnoxious, knows that I say shit that I probably shouldn't say. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm not going to change myself at 49 years old. As much as I would love to improve myself, it ain't happening.
Not today.
Not today. Not today. Anyways, but we would love to have you join. What were you saying about your sister, though?
I don't even remember. I just phone and it hung up. I have to figure this situation out. I was trying to actually get on my laptop to do it, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So next Sunday,
Same time, 5 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Central, which is 8 o'clock Eastern. If you can't join live, I do post it to my Instagram, so follow me there. You can hit the little bell at the top, and you can choose if you want to be notified when I go live, or if you want to choose when I post or stories, whatever. And I'm doing that. I finally figured that out. I'm doing that with like Jeff and Chef Stu, all my favorites, Shane, Alyssa. I love all those people. So I want to know whenever they post something. So you can do that too.
Yes. And reminder, it will be a repeat tomorrow. There's not a live show on the radio, but the repeats are just as funny.
Go Juneteenth. Sirius XM is off. It's a national holiday. So.
All right, lady.
I will see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.